Yay.
You say gay or yay?
I said yay.
Oh, okay.
All
right, I'm going to...
You hear what you want to hear, Brian.
It's time for Bourbon with Friends, the bourbon podcast that never takes itself too seriously. Pull up a chair, grab a glass, and remember, a bourbon with friends can change the world. Here we go.
I'm fucking deaf. I don't have this thing loud enough yet. Royce, I'm going to drop you out really quick, and then a few minutes I'll bring you back in.
Sounds good, man.
Thank you, sir.
Ow. Jeez.
Don't do that. It hurts.
Oh.
What are you doing?
I cracked my foot.
Oh, you look lower. What's up with that?
Which is actually weird because I'm higher.
Okay. There.
Yeah.
You look great now, sir.
Yeah, you look kind of short.
Thank you.
I think it's because
you look
I pushed it back a little bit. Yeah.
Mom!
I grew.
Like, we're drinking with a 12-year-old tonight, Brian. Okay, here we go.
Hi, guys.
We're ready.
Let's not do that.
All right. Sorry, I got everybody acting silly. Let's go.
It's fine. Serious faces. This is a serious podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to Bourbon with Friends. Myself, Adrian, and Martin are here to talk about whiskeys from around the world and how a bourbon with friends can change the world. How was your guys' weekend?
It was good.
What did I do? I can't remember what I did. What did I do?
I got to take my picture with a reindeer.
What do you mean? A real one?
A real one. Yeah. I worked at Edwin Co. Friday night. The people who had a private event there had a live reindeer brought in. His name was Nutcracker.
So it wasn't like was he like a reject from Santa's?
He kind of gave me a side eye, so I mean,
I don't like him already.
Yeah,
I don't like his attitude, if I'm being honest with you.
I really don't like his name. It kind of terrifies me.
Yeah,
they posted it on social media. You have to go check it out.
Yeah, how did he get that name? Nutcracker.
I did not ask that question.
These are important questions you got to ask when a reindeer is called Nutcracker.
Yes.
But no, I did actually see that picture, and for some reason I thought it was a fake reindeer. I don't know why.
It's real.
It just felt like it just looked fake for some reason. You guys were super close to it. So yeah. It's fake fucking reindeer running around. No, mine was decent. Just kind of getting ready for the holidays. So, I will say that this is probably my favorite bar time of the year. Like when you got to the bars, everything just feels cozy, and the lights there's always decorations and lights, and everyone's relatively happy. There's always like random like drink specials on there and like weird Christmas themed cocktails. Do you guys do that at Edwin Co. in 10th Mountain?
We don't have a Christmas cocktail, but it's a winter menu. We have one called Jack Frost. That's pretty fun. But anyway, does 10th Mountain have anything?
Yeah, we do a whole winter theme, Christmas lights and trees and all decorations. Then we change up some cocktails and have fun with it.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, like I said, it's coming upon us this Christmas season. It feels like it's gone fast. But the cool thing is we get to spend time with family next week, and hopefully everybody gets a chance to do that. I know I am. I'm making cookies. Well, I'm not going to make shit. I'm going to watch people make cookies.
It sounds more like it. Yeah.
I'm not going to make a good.
You're going to make sure they taste good.
Yeah. No. Actually, what I'll do is, so my brother-in-law's, his favorite is like the one with the Hershey Kiss on top. I'll put the Hershey Kiss on top. That'll be my job. That'll be my entire job. And that's the only thing I'd trust me with. But speaking of family, that's my lead in, guys. You'll see where I'm going with this in a second. So we do have a fantastic guest today. We have from Neeley Family Distillery. We have Royce. Neeley, welcome to, what's the name of this podcast again? Bourbon with Friends. Welcome to Bourbon with Friends.
Oh, thank you, guys. Glad to be on here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're professional.
Yeah, we have questions written up.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have it pulled up.
It's like, where are the questions?
So
all right, Adrian, start us off.
typically the way we start was like we like to ask people to give us a little bit of background, and for you, I would just say, you know, what is your role or maybe roles at the distillery?
Yeah, I think at this point I do a little bit of everything. So I guess my official title would be president and master distiller. But I founded the company in 2015 with my father. We still maintain 100% ownership of the business, and proud to say we operate debt free. But I do everything from, you know, clean the litter box to make the whiskey to, you know, now I spend a lot of time on the road meeting with distributors and going out and actually selling, which is fun.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, we have the same job. I just don't own it.
Yeah, anybody that works, you know, anybody that works at a craft distillery knows, you know, you got to be kind of a jack of all trades, and you wear all kinds of different hats at any given time. And I like it. Cool.
Yeah. No, 100%. So going off that question, what's been your driving force in your family to legalize or to go legal comparative to your guys' past history with your family?
Yeah, so I've still got quite a bit of family in Eastern Kentucky that still distills illegally, and they're very proud of that as well. But they're very proud of the fact that we were able to take the family name onto the Bourbon Trail. So it was not only for wanting to have a business to where we could, you know, sell and not to worry about going to prison, but also, you know, to be able to take that family name and that heritage and cement it in Kentucky's history. That was really the driving force for me. Is getting on and being able to join the Bourbon Trail in 2019, and you know, just bringing the family from something that was, you know, behind the scenes and operating in the shadows to something that, you know, we can say, here we are, come try our stuff. And now we're not just making moonshine either. You know, we're making bourbons and absinthe and all kinds of different things.
Yeah, we can see that you have a slew of different products out there, and it's very vast. From everything from like what we're currently have, the 2 samples that you sent us. Unfortunately, it sounds like, Martin, you didn't get your samples in time because of lovely holiday UPS or FedEx or whatever it is.
Yeah,
shipping. So, but I'm trying one of these right now, and it's absolutely amazing that
I do have
cherry picker.
I do have the Hidden Barn. I do have that, but that's just because I bought it.
Which one you got, Martin?
I've got this is the one that was finished in Madeira cask. It's batch number 1.
Batch 1. All right. That's a double gold winner from San Fran.
I know. I got it when I was introduced to you guys by a guy up in the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, at the vaults. And actually at that time I think I got the Series 2, which was the high rye, correct?
That's right. Yep. 36% from MBL.
Yeah, he gave me a sample, and I'm like, yep, I'll take 2 of those. And then when I went back, they had the Madeira finished one, so I grabbed that one as well. So I was, I've been a big fan of that stuff. I had a couple of the single barrels too that I saw throughout some of the stores. But yeah, I've definitely been enjoying the Hidden Barn stuff.
Yeah, the Stanley Hotel has been really good to us, and several single barrels to us now, which has been awesome.
Yep. Oh, that's even better. Shout out to the Stanley Hotel.
To McShan.
That's it. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's so nice to you guys.
Yeah. Well, lucky for us, you know, one of the founders of Hidden Barn, which is now a brand that's owned by Neeley, is Nate Weiniger from 5280 Whiskey Society. So we've got Deep Colorado.
Oh, nice.
Company. Oh yeah, Deep Colorado. I was just out there and stayed with Nate in Castle Pines. Had an absolute blast. I went all over the state. Our distributor's classic. So I went all over people, and Jackie'd already done that before. And I'll be back out several times this year in Colorado to help out in the market.
Yeah.
Well, let me know. You got a place to stay in the Western Slope or in Vail. So
yeah, I'd love to. I told Ryan Thompson I got to get out there and visit him. I don't know why I haven't already done that, but friends with a lot of those distillers. I mean, Lenny Eckstein from Deerhammer's a good friend as well. We talk often. Actually, Lenny's been helping me with a single malt, which is cool. I think Lenny does some of not the best single malts out there. So
he does have a phenomenal one. I'm not going to lie, and I'm a little jealous that I have his number. I should be talking to him more, but I don't even have time for myself right now. So
you're saying, absolutely.
All right. So I guess I should ask a question now. So we're kind of just looking. We were obviously doing some deep dive and some research into some of the various products you have. I think it's awesome obviously the full thing of whiskey that you guys do. But obviously you have other things that you create over there at Neeley Family. Can you kind of provide like a rundown of the process of making Cherry Picker, kind of from start to finish?
Yeah, sure. So Cherry Picker, which is a Hidden Barn brand, a Hidden Barn brand. It's our Series 1, and that would be our 9th batch of Series 1 that we've done. So I'm going to take a 70-20-10 mash bill. So 70 corn, 20% rye, 10% malted barley. I cook the corn at 190 degrees. I lower the temp down, cook the barley at the rye at 160, which is a lot of people like to boil the rye with the corn. I do not. And then I'll lower that temperature down even more to around 140, and that's when I add the barley in. It's going to be fermented open top cypress, and we do anywhere from a 5 to 6 day fermentation, just depending on how the fermentations go. And it's inoculated and worked using wild yeast from my family's yeast strand from the mountains in eastern Kentucky. So we grow and work our own yeast there on site. And that's we get a lot of stone fruit or a lot of fruity flavors that come forward in our bourbons, and that directly comes from our yeast strand. If you try my moonshine right off the still, it has that kind of like Jolly Rancher kind of green apple taste to it. That's how prevalent the yeast is in that product. Yeah. So then I take that whiskey, run it through my pot still. For Cherry Picker, it was double pot distilled. I'll make cuts off of that copper pot still. And then we're going to lower the proof down to 105, and we enter it into our new charred oak barrels. So for the barrels that actually become Cherry Picker, those were all Zach Cooperage barrels. I love Zach's barrels. Absolutely love them. I only source from Kelvin and Zach. It's 2-year-old air seasoned oak, char 2s with a medium plus toast on that charring. And I love the 2-year-old air seasoned oak. Really gives it that nice, rich vanilla caramely flavor, even at a much, much younger age. And we do a char 2 just to kind of get as much flavor from it as we possibly can at, like I said, 105 barrel entry proof. So every single barrel that went into Cherry Picker, which was an 11 barrel small batch. Every one of those was 6 years plus. So some of the oldest whiskey that we've got some stuff that's turning 8 years old this year, which I'm incredibly proud of. And then we bring it out at barrel strength. So Jackie will come out, she'll taste through 50, 60, 70 barrels. And then she'll work off of a batch. I'll give her parameters like, I'd like to be somewhere, Jackie, between 8 to 14 barrels, somewhere around in there for kind of what our order basis looks like right now. And then she'll work and build a batch off of those parameters, which is pretty fast to watch her do. And she does it strictly by tasting them. So she'll taste every single barrel, and then she'll break those down into categories based off of the profiles that she's getting from them. Then she'll start working micro batches off of that, and then picks out the one that she likes the most.
That's awesome.
And it seems to be going really good for us. Yeah, Cherry Picker. As of right now, Cherry Picker is my number one bourbon selection to enter into San Francisco this coming year. It's a big year for us. Our Series 1, so Series 1 Batch 5 double gold winner in 22, and then our 23B double gold winner in 23. So if we can win, in 24, if we can win again this coming year, they'll certify that Series 1 Platinum, which is a cool thing. Puts us up there with like Eagle Rare and some of those bourbons.
Yeah, you guys definitely beat us out last year, and I'm a little jealous. So,
you guys got really good whiskey there at 10th Mountain.
Yeah, well, we'll catch up to your family's 200-year history of distillate in another 190 years, I guess.
It's something, man. I feel really blessed. And then, like when we were talking about earlier, reasons why I wanted to take the business legal is to be able to share that history with everybody. So I love getting there and still telling stories, and it's really cool. But unfortunately, my grandfather passed earlier this year, but having him in there who had drank off of a still, that 120-year-old still, he'd actually drank whiskey off of that still 40 years ago, was really cool. So we're really, really lucky and blessed to have that family history. And a lot of families in Eastern Kentucky had that history, but it got lost. I was really lucky that my family kept everything. So I have the original news articles, the old stills. But most of that stuff, like I said, was either destroyed over time or burnt up in fires, or, a generation, skipped a generation. I'm lucky that mine continued all the way on through.
That's pretty darn amazing, to be honest. And everything that you guys have been doing and continue to do is fantastic. I'm tasting through this Cherry Picker right now, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, man. Jackie is really coming into her own. We're approaching, I guess, what's going on 2.5 years of Hidden Barn. And these last 3 or 4 batches, I think, have been absolutely fantastic. We've got a new one coming out called Slow Fade. It is right on profile to what 23B and Cherry Picker are. And Jackie's does a really good job of balancing bourbon out. Like I said, when she categorizes them and places those whiskeys into those certain categories before she goes and selects for micro batches, she does a really good job of selecting ones that really balance out. The flavors aren't overwhelming in any which way, which I think is the key to having a really good batch. But all of our batches are different too. So we call it like single barrel, small batch mentality, right? We're not trying to make 4 roses small batch, like, you know what I mean? The same thing over and over. We're just trying to make kick-ass batches each time. And I think that's been a cool thing for Jackie, you know, to be able, she was so used for Old Forester, you know, it's got to be this, got to be this, got to be this. And now, you know, it's kind of like, hey, here you go. Here's the Rick House. I just turn her loose and let her do her thing.
Well, like I said, what you guys are doing is absolutely phenomenal. And partnering with Jackie and having her do these picks or helping, I can't say she's doing it, but she's guiding you in the right direction or helping guide. Is that the correct process for it?
Oh, I mean, she's our master blender. So
I just wanted to be nice about it. I didn't want to.
Yeah, no, man. You know, I make the whiskey, put it out there, and you know, when it comes to the Hidden Barn brands, that's Jackie's brainchild. She has complete liquid control over that.
I'm not trying. I don't want to interrupt or anything like that, but I know who Jackie is, but maybe we could say her name just in case there's people out there who don't know who she is.
Sure, yeah.
I don't want to mispronounce her last name.
Yeah. So our master blender is Jackie Zykan. She was the former master taster, master blender for Bwfpodcast, mainly working on the Old Forester lineup, but she helped it obviously anywhere under the Bwfpodcast portfolio. But she was responsible for the 117 series. She, like I said, led Old Foe from what was originally like your grandpa's brand and not really this cool to making it a real hip vibrant brand that's crushing it today. And I was fortunate to meet Jackie through Nate Weininger through 5280. So that's how Hidden Barn come about. Nate was friends with me, and then Nate was friends with Jackie, and he put us together. At the time, Jackie was looking to get out of the corporate world and kind of wanting to do her own thing. And her and I sat down and talked and tasted through a bunch of whiskeys and developed a plan. And I said, hey, I've always wanted to be a single barrel distillery, but if I have a master blender like you were, we would love to do those small batches. And that's how Hidden Barn was born. So, and that's been, like I said, almost 2.5 years ago. It was a major move in Kentucky because we see a lot of times, big names leave and go to a bigger distillery. It's the first time we've seen somebody that is, on the same level as any bourbon celebrity moving from a major producer at a Rove master blender to come into, small Neeley family distillery and makes 2 barrels a day. So we're really proud of it.
That's awesome. I don't know her personally, but I've followed her for quite a while, and I think she's fantastic. But
she's badass.
I just wanted to clarify for anybody who may not know who she is.
And she's actually out in the desert right now, so she loves going to Colorado. She loves doing all kinds of different things outdoors, and yeah, she's cool, man. Real cool. I'm really lucky to get to work alongside her.
She seems like it.
Yeah,
I'm really confused. You said she likes going out to the desert, and then you said Colorado.
Well, you guys technically are a desert there, right?
We're a high desert plains, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, I think she's in New Mexico right now, looking for aliens or something. Is what I was told.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, no.
You should have told her to go to New Jersey and look for the
the lights.
Drones.
Yeah, the drones. Yeah, I'm like, I hope she comes back.
Yeah.
It was a little scary.
She's good. She's got her Glock with her.
Oh yeah,
even better.
Awesome.
Oh yeah,
woman after my own heart.
Yep.
So the next thing we want to ask about, can you tell us a little bit about the different types of stills that you have, and then maybe a little bit about where they come from?
Sure.
We couldn't really get a run on that when we were kind of doing some research.
Absolutely. So I'm a big advocate of pot still distillation. Nothing against the column still. I understand the column still, the parameters of it, and why a business would choose to go that route. It's just not for us. So I love the different nuances that you can get off a pot still. As long as you have a good distiller, the cuts that you can make off of it to make a whiskey that unfortunately a column still just cannot make. And it's just the natural way of how the column still runs. So We have 3 pot stills in there, 2 600-gallon. They're a stainless copper, so stainless pots, copper caps on top of them, but they're just strict pot stills. There's no reflux plates inside of them or anything else, just open pots. We use those to strip with and double distill with. And then I've got a 600-gallon all copper Vendome still that we name Old Brownie. You can see it. It's on all of our media and stuff. It's named after my great-grandfather's pistol that he used to pack to the still sides with him. But once again,
that's so cool.
Just a straight up copper pot, trying to bring over as much oils and flavor as possible. It connects to a thumper and then runs to a worm tub as well. And we can either use the thumper or we can bypass it. And thumper and worm tub are all copper also. So I love worm tubs, something I learned distilling illegally over just a regular shotgun style condenser. And then I have an absinthe still. It was built in the 1890s in France. It's the only operational pre-ban absinthe still in North America. It also has a worm tub on it as well. And we only use it to make our absinthe with it. Like I said, it was built in France. It was then used in Switzerland. Then it was in Belgium for a long time. Survived World War II. And then we were actually able to buy it and bring it over when a buddy of mine was bringing in a grain ethanol still from Belgium.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
That's
so
amazing.
Those are, and then we have 100-gallon still that does have, it's modular. So I can put plates inside of it. I can take plates out of it. I can put, I call it the Swiss Army knife of stills, but I use it to make base spirit for the absinthe. Right now we're using it to make a rum. It has 2 thumpers hooked up to it that we can use or bypass. I can really do a little bit of everything on that still, which is neat. Like I said, I can put plates in it and bring a vodka off of it, or I can gut it out and bring a really high proof rum, or not high proof, a really low proof, high ester rum off of it.
Okay.
Which is cool. And it's just, like I said, a little 100-gallon pot. And then this is something you guys are, I'm sure, familiar with, a newer, that's very old technology, but newer that we're seeing them. We have Vendome Copper and Brass Works building us Kentucky's first 3-chamber still. The first one in Kentucky since the 1880s. Yep. I just went down. Yeah, I'm so pumped about it. We should have it operational. As long as there's no problems, we should be operational with it around June. It just made sense for us. Like I said, we love the pot still, and the 3-chamber operates like having 3 pots stacked on top of each other. It's also 3 times less efficient than a pot still. So we're most distillers on when they get to the size and kind of the productivity that we're at, we go to a column and get more efficient and make more production. I go the other way. I get 3 times less efficient with the next still I buy. But we're going to. I love the flavors that off of some of the 3 chambers I've been able to try. I was fortunate to get to go up to Iron City and actually run their 3-chamber for like 10 hours the other day. It was a blast with Matt Strickland. We got another name from out there with you guys as well. Strickland's great. Man. And like I said, we should hopefully have that still in, like around June or July, I'm hoping. And then I still got my original 10-gallon pot still that I ran illegally. It sits in the gift shop down there at the distillery.
Yeah, ran illegally. That's right. All we got to say, right? I mean, nothing ever really happened illegally. You just didn't. Yeah,
nothing ever happened.
So the distillery that I work for has his that he started, like where he started from, and he has it in the front cocktail room where I work. So I just think that's so cool. But anyway.
And then we've got in our tour room where we keep all of our family history, we have my great grandfather's one of his original stills. It's over 120-year-old. Yeah, it's got a double coiled copper worm, which I've never seen another one like it. It's a really cool old piece.
Nice.
Wow. I'm coming to visit sometime soon. I don't know when, but I'm coming.
Yeah, man. We love to have you.
I'm guessing these other 2 would probably want to come visit too. We just can't. We'll need to figure out a time. They're a little bit closer than I am.
I was gonna say I could probably be there in about 6 hours, maybe 4.
Okay, yeah, that's about 4. About 4.5, something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking Tennessee at first, but you're in Kentucky, so it'd be way faster.
Yeah, let me. I'll figure that out. Fish.
Just take the private jet. It's fine. We'll set you up.
When did I get a private jet?
Hey, everybody knows Ryan Thompson is a billionaire, so he can afford a private jet.
Yeah, or there's like a 10th Mountain helicopter or like drone
if
or
he's
something
a billionaire,
like that.
I am not getting paid right.
Yeah, that's the running joke in the ABV Network Crew Club is that Ryan Thompson is secretly a billionaire. There's been PowerPoint put together on it and everything. But
I've been a part of that.
Yeah,
I've been trying, and I work for him directly, and I still can't find his money.
Yeah, it's
and we work for him indirectly.
Yeah,
that's true.
He's a good.
All right.
So,
I was gonna say you guys got the samples. I'm not gonna be able to go through this one, but you guys, I'd love for you guys to go through your samples and let me know your guys' notes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to go through this cherry picker first, and then I'm going to go through the Madura because I figured the cherry picker is going to be a little bit more subtle than the Madura, and I didn't want to ruin my palate for either one of them just right off the bat.
Well, I've been drinking both.
Fair enough.
Cherry picker sets it's a barrel strength at 109.2 proof as well.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm getting a ton of flavor and profiles off this. I'm actually going to start writing these down so I don't forget this.
Oh, I should have pointed out as well, Brian. We sweet mash.
Oh, it's a sweet mash?
It is. It's a sweet mash.
Okay.
I started that process off I just started off with the grain recipe, but before that, yes, we don't put any backset in or any stillage. We only sweet mash.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense when I was just going right off the nose.
Yep.
Because, Adrian, what are you getting off the nose when you're smelling this?
Just for this cherry picker, you do that?
Oh yeah, just the cherry picker.
Oh, it's everything. Yep, everything is sweet mashed.
Oh, I love that. So what nose are you getting, Adrian?
Earlier he said stone fruit, and you do get a lot of fruitiness.
Oh shit, I forgot my glass. I'm sorry, I have to take this straight from the bottle, Royce. But that's okay.
Oh, be sorry about
there
that.
It is.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's really good. I won't do that.
So right off the nose, I'm getting a bunch of different, like you said earlier, Fruity Pebbles. It almost has a subtle relaxation of the Fruity Pebbles, though. It's like where it has a light caramel finish off the nose, and then I'm really getting that. What's the Amaretto cherries or?
You're thinking, Amaretto cherries.
Oh, you're thinking of Luxardo?
Oh, you guys just said 3 fucking different names right there. Now I'm lost.
Luxardo cherries are the ones they usually use to make old fashions and stuff.
Yeah, it's not the Luxardo. It's a little bit sweeter. It's the regular store-bought cherries that you're getting.
Maraschino?
That's the word.
Yeah, maraschino. Yeah, Jackie definitely did a good job. Cherry picker was her name for this one. Nate and I, when we get a batch, we'll taste it and then we kind of throw out names and decide them off of that. But cherry picker, this one she completely came up with, and it's obviously very prevalent. Why?
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm getting those cherry notes right off the bat, just right off the nose, and then the palate's.
I got a glass.
Been throwing me off.
Okay.
Again, I don't know why I'm into dragon fruits recently, but I've been cooking with them a lot, and this is. What do I make with dragon fruit? Stir fry, and then a lot of cocktails with it. Oh yeah.
I get the cocktail thing, but stir fry, you might have to send me that. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I do dragon fruit and stir fry, and then some Asian dishes as well.
And that right there is what I really love about the pot. Just that oily viscosity. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can
only
see
a pot still can provide that.
God, it's so good.
This is absolutely amazing.
It's delicious.
And that's the thing, Royce. Like I will say, out of all finishes for me, Madeira is probably pretty low, but I really like this one.
Thank you.
It's just sometimes depending on, obviously depending on the mash bill that it's kind of mashed with, is that it can just be way too sweet. I have the same feeling. Like I'm a big Scotch single malt Scotch drinker, and PX Sherry is probably like one of my least favorite. I love Oloroso, but I just feel like PX is too sweet. So I always felt like Madeira was too sweet. But this one's so balanced, and just like the distillate, you can tell is just, like you said, very oily, and it just blends very well together.
Thank you. Once again, we're going back to the key to putting batches together is balance. You don't want to go one, especially it's real easy to do with finishing. You know what I mean? You can go very underwhelming, and you can be very, very overwhelming really easily.
No, 100%. I've actually, I want to do more of this cherry picker, but I want to save that for later on. I just switched over to the Maduro.
Okay. This batch, this batch here will go to San Fran as well. This coming year, we named this one Perfect Harmony because I thought out of all three of the batches of Madeira that's been done, and this was my name, by the way. Out of all three of the batches that we've done off the Madeira, I thought this one had. I mean, I just thought it was perfect. The balance to it was.
And you're not wrong. Right off the nose, it's very light. It gives an open feeling. It's almost walking through a meadow.
And I'll tell you,
very floral.
It did not. This one was a work in progress too, by the way. So after we selected, did the micro batch and got everything in the vat, it was still it was almost a little hot. And me and Jackie kind of pulled out an old school method, and I open air vatted this for like a week. So I literally we mixed it twice a day and just left the top off of it, allowing it to open up. And it completely changed and mellowed out the profile to it.
Well, I'm telling you, this whole process, this is absolutely amazing. I'm really enjoying this one a lot. Like I said, the nose comes off super floral. It's very relaxed and subtle. It gives an open air feeling to it, like you said. And then the palate alone kind of brings you in, and it doesn't give that harsh Madura cask flavor that you would get with a lot of the other ones that are out there. It's very, very subtle, and I'm really enjoying this.
I will tell you this too: the Madeira barrels that we got were very wet when we got a hold of them. Also,
yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, they were first use, still very wet with Madeira. Like we could actually get a couple, like a gallon out of each one of them of Madeira.
Wow,
still left it, which was cool.
That is cool.
My girl Jessica hooked me up with those.
What's your favorite finish? Since finishes are pretty popular nowadays, and some are I feel like some are to cover up bad distillate, but sometimes it complements, which I think is something that you guys do really well. So what's your favorite finish?
My favorite one that we've done so far has been Sauternes.
I love Sauternes, dude.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I got really lucky and was able to get 5 Chateau Rieu Sec Sauterne barrels. Once again, they were also very wet as well.
Yeah.
And the Sauterne that come out of them was like $300 a bottle. And we've done really well with those. I'm on my last one now. And we just sell them through the gift shop.
Yeah. Yeah. We got one of our
I'll send you my address.
one of our friends was there during the summer, I think back in July, and we took a trip with him, and he brought I think he brought the Sauternes one. It was Brian, Barbells and Bourbon.
Yeah.
He came down and visited, and I was like, he and I killed half that bottle around a fire, and it was really nice.
Cool,
so it was I love that finish so much. That's probably mine. And then if Amontillado, I've been kind of liking some of the stuff I've been having that's finished in that, or like a lot of the cigar blends that people are doing nowadays usually have that, or like Armagnac. So I've been enjoying those, but I think Sauternes is probably gonna have to be mine. I love it. It just works.
I've got some weird ones out. Like we've got a sake barrel that's finishing. So yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, it was a sake that was put in a used Castle and Key barrel. And then after they matured the sake in it, I was able to buy the sake barrel to finish in, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's wild.
Coming to the market, and I was like, yep, I'll take one of those just to see. And I tell you, it smells, it has like a really deep melon nose to it. The smell.
Really?
Yeah, so it's going to be cool to see how that one turns out. We're doing a maple syrup. Of course, I do some of the same, the PX sherry, the Orlo.
Yeah.
So I've got one out there that was a brandy. So I made this brandy, put it in used oak, let it age for 5 years, and then I took that barrel and ate and finished some of my bourbon in it. Well, I did not like it at all. And it was like 125 proof as well. So it really, really, really shot up in proof. So first thing we did was we lowered the proof down while leaving it still in the barrel. And then I got it out of that brandy barrel and put it into a regular used oak barrel that I've got. I actually come off this cherry picker batch. And then I got some Amberana chips and put down inside of it. And that now it's really coming around. Now it smells like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
It's really helped. It just did not have a good flavor. I did 2 brandy barrels. The first one was fantastic. The second one, like I said, proof shot up on it. I don't know what happened, but it was off. But these that other barrel and that Amberana chip and the lowering of the proof has really helped it a lot. That's one thing.
Well, No, go. Please continue.
It's fun to play around with stuff like that.
Yeah.
It really is.
I would experiment all day long with just different things if I had that opportunity to do so. But it is Amberana was like one, like there's a one by Starlight, and they do an Amberana finish, and it's like you're right, it's toasted, it's cinnamon toast crunch 100%. There are some that I don't like. I know like the Penelope Rio, I know that's an Amberana finish, and that one I didn't get on with too much, but and I like Penelope stuff, but that one I didn't. But Amberana it literally tastes like cinnamon toast crunch, and it's so good.
Yes, I think he is like top of the game for finishing. I think Christian Huber, they're absolutely killing it. And then my boy Macaulay Minton at Dark Hearts. And I'm lucky to know both these guys really well and be able to pick their brains also. But yeah, those two guys are actually killing it in the finishing game.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming out to talk to you for a good amount of time just so I can learn a little bit more and who I can poke a little bit to get Ryan to start spending more of his billions of dollars.
Yes, his Batman money, his Wayne Enterprise money.
Well, he's not. We got to make sure he's doing it in the right way. He just needs to buy like 3 more distilleries, and we'll be fine.
There you go. It's easy. So I guess shifting a little bit away from specific whiskey questions, we'll get back to it eventually. So just a little curious about, again, we kind of like looked into your array of different things that you guys offer there at Neeley. I'm just kind of curious about the Southern Dew Chocolate Moonshine Truffle. Like, what's the process and how do you really get such a specific flavor like that?
Yeah, man. So it was something that I played. So when I sat down to come up with different flavors, at the time I'd done like a peach cobbler. I'd done an apple pie. I'd done a lemon drop, all stuff that you bootleg. You know what I mean? Like you see it on the bootleg market. I was slinging it to, sorority girls in college, honestly. So I wanted to do a cream, and I love eggnog, and so I kind of had a general idea of the direction I wanted to go with it. I got a bunch of natural flavors from a place in Colorado, or not Colorado. Sorry, I don't know why I said Colorado, in North Carolina. And then I was able to bring the cream in. We source our cream from a company called Galloway, so it is an Irish cream that comes in. Mm-hmm. I'll take the moonshine, so my family's moonshine. At still strength, so 127 to 132 proof. And we'll actually batch up. So we use natural sweetener. So we use cane sugar to sweeten it with. We'll put the moonshine in. We'll put the water in. We'll put the natural flavors. We'll mix all of that up. And then we weigh the cream out separately. And we adjust the pH to exactly 7.2. And then we pump that mixture with the pH adjusted into the cream while the cream mixes vigorously. And that's how you get it to take. To actually be able to make that product. So it's that's why you don't see a lot of it. It's laborious. It's difficult to do. If it's great, you'll never get it to take back. So you can run an entire very expensive batch really quickly. I'm lucky. Knock on wood. We never lost one. But yeah, I was playing around with those flavors, and I was like, man, this tastes like chocolate truffles. So that's how we come up with the name for it. And the Southern Dew, I had actually my realtor, who I bought the property that I'm on right now from, had a connection to a family called the Bus family, who they owned the Metalon Distillery back in the day, all right, here in Kentucky. And it went under a boiler explosion of fire. They ended up shutting the distillery down. But it was one of the old, so he brought me like a booklet that had a bunch of their old brands in it. And Southern Dew I was like, man, what a cool name, especially for a cream, right? Like, I'm in the South. Dew is slang for moonshine. Dew's also an irrelevance to, we think of creams for that. So that's kind of how we come up with the name for that.
That's awesome.
Yep. Trademarked it, just went in and picked it up. It was, it was on the docket. It had been there since like 1890. The Southern Dew name that. Just went in and picked it up.
That's crazy. I love the history behind stuff like that. That's so cool.
Man, I have so much to learn from you. It's not even funny. And I was born into this industry just like you. So
we're lucky, man. Being born into it. I see my little niece running around the distillery now, and I'm like, man, hopefully, down the road, the family continues on with it. It just, it's a cool business to be in. It's difficult, but it's cool.
I would agree with you, but my family sold out.
Oh, okay. Well, technically, my family comes over in 1740, right, from Ireland. Of course, we don't have a lot of, it's just stories passed down through the family. My grandpa was always really proud. He said, the Neeleys brought their stills with them. More than likely, looking at the time period, the Neeleys were probably run out of Ireland. And at that time, they were sending a lot of people. It's wonder we weren't in Australia because they were sending a lot of, they were deporting criminals out of there. So I'm sure they ran my family out. So they come over in 1740. They go to Pennsylvania and almost immediately get into the distilling, in the distilling game. And I had a forefather named Robert Neeley. He's the second generation that was in America. And that's who I'm named after. So I'm named Robert David Royce Neeley. My dad's Robert Roy Lee Neeley. So me and him are both named after Robert Thompson Neeley. So he marries into the Thompson family, who in Pennsylvania at Washington's Crossing. You look it up. It's called the Neeley Thompson House. It's owned by the state of Pennsylvania now. But Robert Thompson Neeley, he marries into a family that has a distillery. So they have a mill, a grist mill, their own side, a distillery, and a tack shop, and a blacksmith. They blacksmith and all kinds of different stuff there. And the legend is that George Washington stayed with the Neeleys the night before he crossed the Delaware.
Really?
Yeah. But you can look it up, man. It's a cool spot.
That's so cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So family had that legal distillery until like the 1830s.
Wow.
And then after that, the family moves to the mountains in eastern Kentucky in the 1840s, and we've been there ever since.
Yeah, well, I mean, your family history provides so much context and information. Mine are just drunks from Scotland.
I was going to say, I'm just drunks.
Yeah,
drunks and engineers. That's pretty much all my family is. But no, they're all great people because they sometimes listen to this, so I don't want them to think I'm talking ill of them.
Right.
But I am. I am. They're fine. They're great people. I love them so much. And so I guess it is time for the weirdest question you'll be asked today, for sure. I think Brian has this one today. I'll give some background on it before he does ask this question, so we're not confused out here.
Thank God.
Yeah. So basically, when we first took over as host of Bourbon with Friends, Adrian, just every month, Adrian likes a different animal, and that specific month, Adrian liked squirrels. It just happened to be the month that we started, and none of this is true. So basically, we don't know why we asked a question that's related to this squirrel themed. We have no idea why we asked it. There was a reason. There is an actual reason, but I have told so many lies at this point about this story that I don't know what the actual story is anymore. So basically, I have no idea.
That's
I don't know why
my favorite. That's my favorite one so far, Martin. That's awesome.
That was pretty good.
That was a decent.
That was really good.
That was
really good.
God, I don't even know what episode we're on now. 36?
Something like that. So
I think so.
Yeah.
Joe, can you nod your head? Are we on 36?
He's asleep. It's fine.
Sorry.
So we ask a squirrel themed question just because we can get super nerdy about whiskey, which I love, but we obviously kind of want to break it up a little bit.
Right.
Bless you. So we like to break it up a little bit. So Brian, take it away.
Oh man, this is kind of an easy squirrel question. This is a fun
one. It's fun though.
Fun.
But I'm going to change it up a little bit.
There you go. Do your thing.
Yeah.
He won't know. He can't see the question.
No way. Really?
You could just slip through that.
Well, I'm just going to fucking go with what flavor moonshine would a squirrel get drunk off of and why? And I'm going to add this in. Would there be a Christmas squirrel moonshine that you could create?
Yes, to both. So the moonshine, I think the squirrel would actually really love that bourbon ball moonshine because it's got a praline walnut type of flavor to it, right? So
there you go.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
And I was thinking, like, you got what's the famous squirrel, Rocky the Squirrel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain Moonshine.
There you go. It's already it's a product.
There it is.
Well, I'm not saying it's already a product. You're just taking that from my website now. But that's actually a great one. Rocky Mountain Moonshine for Rocky the Squirrel. And then that Pralines Moonshine sounds absolutely amazing.
Does actually sound pretty good. I'd drink that. I'd steal it from that squirrel.
Yeah.
I love that you answered so quickly. Like, you're like, I got it.
But you know what?
I want to cook with that now.
Well, it's wild because like we always come up with these questions and we're like, oh, we're gonna no one's gonna have an answer for this. But every single guest that we've had on has had in like a very specific answer for these questions. And I'm just like,
so cool.
How's this happening? Cool. So it's super cool. Yeah, thank you for entertaining that one.
Absolutely.
100%. God, now I really want to cook like a squirrel with that pralines moonshine. See what it tastes like.
Cook a squirrel?
Yeah, they taste good.
I do enjoy squirrel hunting. Brian, you like squirrel hunting?
Thank you.
You can come to my house and hunt squirrels. It would be easy pickings. You could shoot them right out my kitchen window. It'd be gone. I mean, you could probably get about 30 of them.
Yeah,
just like that.
Suppress 22.
No, you just need an air gun now.
Oh, well, I do have a BB gun, but now that you said suppress 22, I think I know what I want for Christmas. But anyway, I just finished pouring the rest of this cherry picker.
Here we go, AJ.
They always make fun of me because I don't love single malts. Like I will, they're good, but they're not my jam. But this gives and maybe I'm wrong in saying this. I'm kind of the novice of the group, but this gives me a single malty kind of feel. Am I wrong in that, Brian? Yes? No?
Give me a second.
Okay.
I thought he was going to chug it.
I'm not going to
awesome.
chug that.
I always get this type of feel on the palate at the end of taking a drink of a single malt. And I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong, but
I don't think you're wrong for two reasons.
No, you're actually right. That it does have a very light profile with that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the fruitiness definitely lends to the single malt feel, but it also has there's always this type of, I don't want to say twinge because that gives it I think that's a negative term, but
bad connotation.
Yeah, but there's this feeling that you'll get on the tongue with a single malt, and that's how this makes me feel.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's on the mid and the back palate that you're getting in that. On the front palate, it's not so much, but on the mid and the back,
yep, exactly.
You're getting that grainy context that it would be almost malt, but it's not.
I get, and I think Cherry Picker's definitely got it in there. I get a lot of times with our products, I'll get a real doughy kind of like bready type of taste palate, and that's why I get that definitely on Cherry Picker, which kind of makes me reminiscent of a single malt. Plus, most single malts are double pot distilled, triple pot distilled, so that's
very good. It's very good. Yeah, I finished. That's the first one I finished.
I'm really so now that we're talking single malts. Which, to be honest with you, was never something I thought that I would get into. But I really love all the information that's come around in the last few years. Everybody talking about single malts and, American single malt whiskey. Now the TTB just completed their standards of identity, and they said,
"Thank God!"
Yeah, and they said, "Hey, you can put it in used oak." And I'm like, "All right, if I can put it in used oak, then I'm a fan." So I'm really excited to make a single malt on that 3-chamber.
That'd be awesome.
Oh. Heavy, you know what I mean? A real heavy, real dominating spirit. I think that could do the single malt really well. So much so that I bought a liquid solid separator today, actually, to make it with.
What the fuck?
I can't lauter the grains, right? If I'm going to make single malt, if I'm going to make Scotch, right, in the Scotch style, I'm going to do it off the grain. Well, I've always only fermented and distilled on the grain. I'm a big believer in that for bourbon. But you don't want to do that, with a single malt product. So I bought a liquid solid separator today to where we can separate out and be able to draw the liquid out of the cook, and then leave the grains.
Nice.
So
I'm not saying I may be sending 20 or 30 or 50 barrels to you to do that, so we can possibly do something. But I may be doing that,
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that that ruling was saying that they could do it in used oak, because obviously that is more Scotch, right? Because some of my favorite American single malts are that. I mean, there are some great ones that are done in new oak, but I think Mirador from Balcones, that's the first American single malt I ever tried. So that was my intro to American single malts, and it is used bourbon. I think it's actually Four Roses used bourbon they use for that one, but it's so good, and I prefer that flavor profile. So I'm super excited to see. So I would love to try that whenever you guys make that. I'll have to make the trip to try that one, because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Martin, I'm thinking a BWF trip during KBF is necessary, and it may be sponsored by some people that we can all be paid for to go down and enjoy KBF and then visit this phenomenal Neeley family distillery that's just killing it in every aspect.
Well, we would definitely love to have you guys down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun.
And I want to throw a plug in real quick. So we're up right now. Yeah, we're up right now I'm not sure when this is going. When does this air?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So right before New Year's.
Okay, it'll already be over by then. We're up right now for. You guys follow Whiskey Lore?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the competition.
We're in the final four right now he's been doing this for like a year. So we're in the final four. We're going up against a distillery from Lebanon, the country Lebanon.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
And you're killing them.
The other side is Mammoth and Liberty Pole. So if we can win tonight, we'll be in the finals. So, but like I said, I was going to try to throw a plug out there and get people to go vote for us. But you guys can go vote for us.
I'll go
vote.
It's already happened.
Something.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll post something.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put it on the BWF page. We'll put it on our personal page. We'll make sure everybody knows to vote for Neeley.
We have we've actually had a couple people we have like some of our private chats on Instagram, and like every day they put the links to the Whiskey Lore, like whoever's in it. Like we were trying to get Detling up there for a while because we love like what they're doing down there. We had Seth on the show not too long ago, and he's a very interesting person to talk to.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, they always do that. So yeah, we'll definitely be voting for you guys.
I did a presentation at the New Orleans Bourbon Festival, and Seth actually was in the room sitting in there with it, and me and him got to talk afterwards, which was really cool. Yeah. But that's who we went up against this last time was Detling.
You guys did, yep.
Yeah, and I told the team down here, I'm like, if we can get past Detling, and but this Lebanon distillery, man's got me worried because they're like the only distillery in the country.
That's wild.
And 8th generations, and they've got 15,000 followers. And I think it's going to be a tough one. And they're 9 hours ahead of us. So
right now you're at. Last time I looked, it was at 67%. So you're beating them by quite a margin.
But they'll get a major push in the morning.
That's true.
See, I'm getting ready to be done. Yeah, I know. I'm getting ready to be done for the evening. Type of deal, and the polls close at 9:30 in the morning. Well, they didn't get a morning this morning. When it came open, it was already like 5 o'clock there. So they're going to be able to see how far, like if they're down.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
There's going to be some voting.
Yeah, it's 60-40 right now. I just looked.
That's a pretty. I feel really good about that. For the fact, like I said,
that's a healthy lead.
Yeah,
healthy lead.
I'll even do this while we're live right now. I'm going to push it out to everybody to say go vote.
Yeah, I'll put it on my story too. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it when we're done here.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. These are just a lot of buttons.
You were talking a bunch about the things you wanted to do and things you're excited about. Do you have any upcoming releases that you do know about that you would like to talk about or can talk about with us?
Sure. We've got a new label that's coming out. It'll be in the same Hidden Barn bottle style, so that old Taylor bottle style, but it's actually just called Neeley. Yep, just like that. Same label, like the same look, except it's got just a giant pot still in the front of it. And I can do what it does for me is all my like experimental stuff that I've done out there. I can pivot really quickly and just throw it underneath that brand and be able to put it out into distribution. So the first one we're going to do is a 4-grain that has oatmeal in it.
Ooh,
6% oatmeal, 9% wheat. We call it the breakfast bourbon. I've got some bit that's bonded, so it'll be a bottled and bond 4-grain bourbon that we'll be able to put in this Neeley brand. So
with oats.
I can do anything with it. I can throw brandies under it. All I got to do is change the bottom label, and the top and back stay the same. I just have the
awesome. That's slick.
Now I'm just hungry.
Drink some more of the cherry picker. You won't be hungry
you'll be
anymore.
fine.
Yes, ma'am.
We're actually making that recipe right now as well. So I've got like 3 tons of oatmeal down in my garage bags. I'm sitting down here.
The oat deal, the oats in the whiskey makes my heart happy. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's just the most magnificent thing.
You got to watch them too. They work a lot like rye does. So I cook them at a lower temp at the same temp as the wheat. But man, I mean, you talk about they get a cap that's like a foot tall on it.
Really? Same temp as the wheat?
I cook it at the same temp as the wheat.
So I'm going to add in one more question to this. Can you describe the temperatures you're cooking at certain grains and why you're cooking those temperatures or those grains at those certain temperatures?
Yes. So I don't boil. Like I said, even the corn, I don't boil. You just don't need to. The higher the temp that you cook grain at, the more you can break the grain down and the more different things you can draw out of that grain. So a lot of times I think that this spicy rye profile that people get is because this rye has been boiled. We don't get that off of our rye whiskeys. So we cook them at that lower temp and it brings out much more earthy, much more, actually we get a lot of spearmint, been a lot of herbal dill in it. And I like that type of profile from a rye.
Yeah, me too.
The wall of the grain is not that thick on wheat or rye or oatmeal. So cooking at those higher temperatures kind of, hurts the grain. You don't need to do that. So that's when I started playing around cooking them at a lower temp. The reason why everybody would want to boil them is the more you cook the grain, the more the starches broke down. That's all goes back to the quantity versus quality side of it. This is also the reason why we don't sour mash. You add sour mash in there and you get an acidic environment. That sour mash can really burn a lot of the flavor out of the grains. It is so acidic when you add the grains into it in the cooking process. That's, nothing against sour mashing. I definitely understand and appreciate it, but that's the reason why we choose to sweet mash. It's just much more difficult to sweet mash.
So this might be a little bit of an ignorant question, but if you're cooking at a lower temperature, are you cooking for longer periods of time?
We do. A lot of people do what's called a flash cook, especially the bigger distilleries. Yep. So add it all in there, cook it at one temp, then bang it out with enzymes and lower the temperature down, pitch the yeast and get it pumped over. So we're going to cook the corn for an hour, lower the temp, cook the wheat, the rye, the oatmeal, what we call the secondary, the sister grain for another hour as well, and then lower it again and cook the malted barley for an hour, and then crash the temperature down. So my cooks it's the longest part of our day. My cooks take 8 to 9 hours to do the entire cooking process. But once again, that extra time in there with that heat helps to draw more of the flavor out as well.
Slow and low.
Yeah. Are you guys using a 500 gallon or 800 gallon for or cooking tank, or what size tank are you using?
Well, yeah, 600 gallon.
600 gallon. Okay.
600 gallon cookers. Okay. 600 gallon cookers, 600 gallon ferments.
Crazy.
Beating us by 100 gallons, you bastards.
And then that's like when people try the bourbon, they're like, oh man, it tastes mature, but it tastes grainy. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. Like I wanted to preserve the grain flavor. Yeah. Like when I try, I'm lucky to get to try a lot of old, like pre-prohibition era whiskeys. They were grainy. They're heavy. They, have a lot of that flavor. They're not light, and that's what I wanted to make as well.
Yeah. That was actually something that I noticed when I first discovered Hidden Barn, and I know that I guess there's negative connotation around that word grain forward, right? Like everyone's like, oh, it's grain forward. I don't like that. It's youthful. I'm like, no, to me, I want to know, I enjoy knowing I'm tasting a certain grain, or I'm like, to me that yeasty note is beautiful. And it's, to me, like I want to know what I'm tasting, and like I don't want to cover it up by a bunch of shit, really.
Right.
So I really enjoy those grain. Now, obviously, there can be some that are very sharp, and that they're not so great. But I love the grain forward notes that you guys have. To me, it's just like I don't know, it's like cornbread, and like it's just like this very specific note, and I love it.
We definitely have figured out that 5 to 7 years is definitely, we don't want to pull anything lower than 5 years now.
Yeah.
Because we are so grain forward, right? We still want to get the maturity in there as well. And that was kind of the problems at the beginning, was we're putting out a 4-year-old bourbon that it did have a youthful note to it. And then when you combine that with grain forward, it can be confusing for a lot of people.
Sure.
So that was definitely one thing we've learned as we're progressing through, but I don't think we're going to go much older than that. I mean, I really think that, 6 to 8 years is really the optimum for pot distilled whiskey to set at.
Yep. That is, to me, that's my kind of sweet spot for it. I don't love super old bourbons. I just think it's just too much. It's just too oak. It's just the oak just takes over at some point. And so I definitely like that's kind of my sweet spot is in there. It's there's an Arlo on you right now.
He's bigger than me. I can't do shit.
Is he like our mascot now? Because he keeps showing up.
I don't know what to do. And your dog, he keeps growing. Now he just weighed in at 120 pounds.
Jeez,
that's a big dog, man. It's like
it's literally 10, almost me.
It's like 10. It's like 10 of my dog. That's insane.
Yeah.
So one other question. It's actually come to our last question, and it's our favorite question, I think. I would say.
Yes, agreed.
We love squirrel questions. We don't want to, take away from the squirrel question, but this one to us kind of encapsulates what Bourbon with Friends is about, and that is obviously the memories that we make with our friends and family over bourbon, or any whiskey, really, or any spirit, or any drink. And we want to know from you, what is your favorite memory of whiskey? Like, it could be something from being a kid, it could be something from a family member, a friend, a gathering, a party. What is your favorite whiskey memory?
Man, so when I would come back, when we would go for like a family reunion or a Christmas, this time of year makes me think of it. We'd go to the mountains, see all the family down there. And then on the trip back, Dad would tell me that, we'd talk about the stories that was told. And that's my favorite memory, or some of my favorite memories from whiskey, is learning about the family history with my father on the trips back from going to the mountains.
That's really cool. Yeah, but
I've enjoyed you telling the stories you've told today. I could listen to you tell stories all day.
Well, that's
awesome. It's been fun.
Well, yeah, it's great. Well, we do have one thing we have to do before we part. I have a job, right, guys?
Yes. It's a good job.
It's a good job. It's an easy one. I basically want to do now is thank our sponsor, and our sponsor is 10th Mountain Whiskey. You guys, we talked about them. You can find them on all social media platforms and also at 10thwhiskey.com. And right now, guys, again, if you are listening to this podcast, it probably is past Christmas at that point? Maybe. You can still buy people gifts. And if you want, you can use BWF15 for a 15% discount on 10thwhiskey.com. So go there, buy stuff, shirts, whiskey, whatever you guys want. I'll make your decisions for you. But we would love for you to buy these products and go check them out. They are available now in 42 different states. I think we just added it. Wasn't it 41 last time I did the spot? So now Correct. It's 42. That means they're growing. Growth is good. So 42 different states through online distribution, as well as 30 states across the country through regular retail distribution. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to 10thwhiskey.com. They'll be happy to do it. And I would like to thank 10th Mountain Whiskey for being the sponsor on the podcast.
Thank you, 10th Mountain.
Thanks, Brian.
You billionaire.
Yeah. I'm so going to fucking message him right after this and just call him straight out. So, Royce, I want to make sure we thank you for coming on right before the holidays. Yeah. Everything that you guys are doing and coming on and doing this with us is absolutely phenomenal. You guys are, again, up for the top 4 in the whiskey lore on Instagram right now, out of everybody. And I just sent it to every single group while we were talking that I know of to get it pushed out there. Yeah. They will vote, and they're pretty adamant about voting for good whiskey and good people. And we'll make sure it's adamant.
Yeah, and I reached out to my connects in Lebanon, and I made sure that nobody wakes up tomorrow. So that way nobody votes for anything, whether this fucking Lebanon distillery is.
I really would that's been the cool thing about whiskey lore too, is I'm seeing these other distilleries like we're going up against. Man, I would love to go see this place. I would love it.
Is it single? I'm assuming it's single malt, right?
No, you can't. I wouldn't recommend you go to Lebanon right now.
No. But it would be badass. They look like they've got a really cool operation over there. Really,
their operation's absolutely phenomenal. If you want to go, I have a few friends. I will go with you. I know just a good security team that will make sure it's okay.
You need a security detail to go to a distillery. That's amazing.
Yes.
Brian's like, I got him. Yeah. That's amazing though. What do they make there? Is it single malt? I'm assuming.
Yes, they do a single malt. It's like they do like a mead as well or something, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Really? They do, and I've heard it's phenomenal from a few friends of mine. So
nice. I'll have to check it out and see what it's all about.
But no, fuck them. Neeley.
Yeah, but never mind. Screw them.
Yeah, they're real cool. Never mind. Oh, we beat their ass. They're real cool.
Yeah, they're great people, but let's not have them win. All right, Royce. Again, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
100%. Hey, everybody, remember, have a great day or night, and that if bourbon with friends can change the world, y'all.
And Merry Christmas too, and Happy Holidays and New Year's and all these things. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
That's it for this episode of Bourbon with Friends. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a review to make it easier for others to find the show. You can also check us out on Instagram at Bwfpodcast. Thanks for listening.